Hey everybody, I'm Waller's Wallet and Hyatt is making some changes to the program for 2020. So in this video, we're going to take a look at those changes. But first, if you're new to this channel is all about credit cards, credit card rewards, and showing you how you can use your points and miles to travel for less. So if something that interests you, consider subscribing and turn the bell notification on as well. Also, consider giving the video a thumbs up. It really does help the channel out. Now, Hyatt is the best program when it comes to hotel points, and they're probably the best transfer partner for ultimate reward points. But just like other programs, devaluations are going to happen, and Hyatt is making some changes to that program. And starting in March of 2020, Hyatt is going to be implementing off-peak, standard, and peak pricing awards. They're also going to be adding value to their spa and dining redemptions. And these program changes will be coming to all award types, such as standard rooms, club rooms, premium suites, etc. And the addition of peak and off-peak pricing could be good or bad for you depending on your travel habits and when you decide to travel. Now let's talk about the pricing of the changes. For the off-peak awards, they're going to be offered during the less busy times or shoulder season for travel, and those are going to start at 3,500 points per night for Category 1, and they'll be going all the way up to 35,000 points for a Category 8 property. So if you're someone who travels during the off-peak season, this could actually be a good change for you. Standard rooms are going to be just like you know them now. There's going to be no changes to standard rooms whatsoever. Then you have the peak award pricing, which are going to be during the busy times. And the increase for these hotel pricings will be somewhere between 13 to 30% higher than the standard room cost, depending on the category of the property. But the good news Hyatt gave us about their peak pricing, I guess if you want to call it good news, is that peak pricing of hotel properties will currently be at most 5,000 points more per night than the standard pricing. And the Maraval properties could be higher depending on the occupancy and the level of room that you want. And now I'm sure we're going to eventually see this change, but this is what they're starting off with here. And then the cash and point redemptions will also be moving to a peak and off-peak pricing. It's still going to require 50% of the points needed for that redemption, as well as 50% of the room rate for that night. Now, one thing that catches my eye from Hyatt is that they say most space will still stay standard, but there's no limit to the off-peak or peak pricing awards. So does that mean we could see standard and peak pricing only for places like the Hyatt Ziva, which is their all-inclusive, or will there be an even distribution of peak or off-peak pricing? And that's something we're going to have to wait and see. Now let's talk about the free night certificates, and some good news here currently, and I'm going to say currently because I do think this is going to change in the future, is that the certificates you receive from your Hyatt credit card or the ones you earn from Hyatt stays will be good at the category level, regardless if it's in during peak pricing. So that means if you want to use your Hyatt certificate from your World of Hyatt credit card at a Category 4 hotel and it's in peak pricing, you can still use it. And this is actually different than Marriott, where your certificate is good for a certain number of points, and at times you're priced out during those peak season pricings. Now let's talk about the dining and spa credit. Starting January 29th of 2020, Hyatt is updating this to be more appealing to people because it used to be a really bad use of your Hyatt points. But you're going to be able to redeem your Hyatt points from 1 cent per point up to 1.54 cents per point. And now what really stinks, in order to get that 1.54 cents per point, you're going to need to redeem 65,000 Hyatt points for a $1,000 credit. And the redemption value you receive decreases with the fewer number of points you use for those redemptions. And I'm not really sure I would use my Hyatt points in this way, but there may be some of you out there who will, because I'd rather use my points for stays than a dining or spa credit. Now let's talk about communication and well as other changes here. Now after the recent trend of program just making unannounced changes, I can at least appreciate the heads up from Hyatt here because these changes are not going to go into effect until March of 2020, which gives us plenty of time to make our hotel reservations if we want to. And in the midst of this devaluation, Hyatt is doing a couple of customer-friendly things in the process here, probably to reduce any extra backlash or negative reactions from customers in general. First, Hyatt is going to be making the classifications of peak and off-peak pricing public, so you're going to know if it's peak pricing or not. And the designation will be available about 13 months in advance, and once it is public, they say those designations are not going to change. And Hyatt is also going to be rolling out a calendar search function, which I really think is long overdue, and it's going to help us see those peak and off-peak pricing, and it makes it easier for us to search because you'll have an idea of what you're searching for, which is really nice, as opposed to currently you got to search day by day, which can take a lot of time. Now, if you currently have a Hyatt property booked for a stay after March of 2020, or maybe you're unsure if a hotel that you're looking to book will be considered peak pricing or off-peak, you can actually book it now, and if the price drops when the peak off-peak pricing goes live, Hyatt will issue an automatic one-time refund of points back into your account. And if you book a hotel property now and the price goes up when the peak off-peak pricing goes live, they're not going to charge you the difference, which is nice, and honestly that's what I would expect from them. But if you lock in the better price before March and then you need to make a change to that booking after the changes go into effect, you will need to pay the difference in points to do so. Now this is a devaluation to the Hyatt program, and devaluations always stink, but I'll be honest here, I think this could have been a lot worse than it actually was. It is still a negative change, but at least we didn't see Hyatt add more categories to their award chart or even realign hotel properties at the same time of implementing peak and off-peak awards. And the value of Hyatt points take a hit during those peak pricing, but if you're someone who's flexible or prefers to travel during the off season, this could actually be a beneficial change for you and save you points on your redemptions. But even with Hyatt implementing peak and off-peak pricing, I still think they are the most favorable hotel program out on the market by far. And I'll be very curious to see how they place peak pricing amongst their properties. Because if we see a higher proportion of properties have peak pricing to off-peak pricing, then this makes this devaluation even worse. And while this isn't as bad as maybe it could have been, I am not a fan of this because it makes me believe that there are more negative changes on the way, and this is just the first step in more upcoming devaluations for Hyatt. And you know, with this change, it's just another hit to the value of Chase Ultimate Reward points. So tell me, what do you think of these changes to the Hyatt program? Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in this video. If you want to help support the channel, a simple way would be use links on the website or in the description below. And until next time, safe travels and take care.